Welcome back, listeners, to the Outside Scoop podcast. I'm your host, Josh Groh. That's Rob Solorzano. That's his twin, Greg Solorzano. Our guest today.
Correct.
Greg's going to be joining us for 2 episodes today. Obviously for sports and also for our final episode, which will be released on Thursday.
Ever.
Final episode, not ever.
We're done.
Of season 1, episode 10.
Wait,
episode 10.
Is that actually the 10th one?
It is.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
Okay.
So this is episode 9. Greg's going to be joining us for both. And obviously today's sports, if you can't tell by what we're wearing. Really quick, though, I'm going to do a quick recap of the NHL. So the last time we even talked about the NHL,
A long time ago.
like 2 weeks ago, the quarterfinals, I guess, round 2 was wrapping up. And we were just getting to the conference finals. So here we are in the conference finals, already 3 games in. The third game of Dallas Edmonton's actually playing right now, 2 p.m. is when they started. So Carolina's up right now against Florida. No, sorry, Florida's up right now against Carolina. They're not only winning these games, they are dominating these games. Game 1 was 5-2 Florida. Game 2 was 5-0 Florida. And then Game 3 was 6-2. They're scary.
It's belt on bum. If you're to sum up that series, it's belt and bum. The bum is the Hurricanes, and you got the father coming in, spanking them. That's what it is.
That's great.
Marching was eating Dairy Queen in between, like the periods.
Really?
Yes, that's
disgusting.
how unserious. Well, yeah, Dairy Queen is booty, but point being is that he's eating like ice cream in between, like
So
he doesn't- no one
if
cares.
like 5-2, 5-0, 6-2, if that's like belt on bum, that's belt. It's like hand on bum, like 4-2, 3-0. Like, I mean, what are like had the scores been 7-2? I mean, how far are we going?
So
here?
if we are ranking something on bum, so are we doing like wooden spoon, belt, hand?
I would say
Belt is worse
not a
than
wooden
spoon, right?
Have you ever gotten the paint stick?
I've gotten the wooden spoon.
I never had the spoon, but they did. My parents did paint stick.
Ooh, that sounds really painful.
Rob broke a wooden spoon.
I did. My bum was so hard.
Dude, and you know how crazy this guy. You know how crazy this guy is. So my mom whoops this guy with a wooden spoon, right? And it breaks a spoon. This guy's laughing like he's like the Joker. It's crazy. It was.
Bro liked
my
it.
goodness. I wonder how old you were. Could you imagine?
I
Just
don't
like
remember.
6-year-old, you just like unfazed.
Enjoying it. What is that when you enjoy pain? Are you a nihilist? Or
Isn't nihilist like just destruction or something?
maybe.
I don't know.
Masochist?
Psychopath. How about that?
We're getting a little bit off track. Long story short, Florida has punished the Hurricanes.
That's right.
normally
Florida's
it's the other way around.
dominating. And they're punching their ticket probably tomorrow to the Stanley Cup final. Their 3rd straight Stanley Cup final. Do you know that? In the last 10 years, I believe, 8 of those 10 teams have been teams from Florida. Either the Panthers or the...
I actually did know that. Did you know that the Hurricane have lost like maybe it's 15 in a row?
It's 10 straight conference finals.
It's 10. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so bad.
It's very bad. Ever since they won the Stanley Cup, which was like mid-2000s.
That is rough.
It's been pretty bad for them. They're definitely a cursed team. And I saw this thing right as the Stanley Cup playoffs were starting. And it was like, why your team won't win the Stanley Cup. And under like the cursed section was Carolina, Edmonton,
Toronto.
and the Minnesota Wild.
Poor Wild.
And it's true, they are cursed. They can't get past the first round, like, ever. And they didn't this year either.
They're always like a solid regular season team, and then it comes to the playoffs and they just stink.
Yeah, but it's always weird because their roster is like very depth heavy, and they never have that like one guy like a McDavid or a Barkov or Kachuk to like elevate them to the next level. They kind of do now with Kaprizov, but he was hurt for half of the season, so I don't really blame him for like not being able to step up. Moving on to Dallas and Edmonton, the series is tied 1-1. Like I said, Game 3 is playing right now. One interesting thing to note is that Edmonton went back to Stuart Skinner as their goalie. They were using Calvin Pickard for the Vegas series and the end of the first series. Look at that. We've got a kitty in the background now. Everybody say hi to Milo.
I Nino.
All right. So Skinner has played 7 games, and they've only won 3 of them. But all 3 of those games that they've won with Skinner in net are shutouts. So it's literally like shutout or bust for Stuart Skinner. I knew you were going to do that. This is also a rematch of last year's conference finals.
Oilers moved on.
And the Oilers won it in 6 games. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 7, maybe 6. But I don't see it being like in 5. I don't see it ending in 5. If one team right now were to just run away with it, I think it would have to be Edmonton.
I don't really want a rematch of last year.
You don't want Florida Edmonton again?
I don't really care for Florida, and I mean, I guess it would be nice for like McDavid to get something for once, but like,
yeah,
I think we've established that like Dallas, like I like them. I'm a fan
we
of
know
their
you
team
like
a little
Dallas.
bit, so I would like for Dallas to move on. I don't care for the Oilers or the Panthers.
What's your love for Dallas? Where'd that come from?
It's simply when I would play Chell, I would just play the Stars.
So it's like the thing. It's kind of like how people pick like their favorite teams based off like colors. You're like, well, growing up,
I liked how they looked when I was like a little.
Okay, but
no, that's fair.
boy.
Everyone's got like their weird thing that they like attach to a team.
I mean, I like birds, right? So I liked the Blue Jays growing up just because they had a bird logo. I like the Orioles, and I obviously like the Cardinals. But now that I have like more of a
But now you like
conscious-
cats. You're like,
Well, no, I'm not a Panthers fan because I like cats. If that's
are you a Panthers fan?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I thought you were saying like I am a Panthers fan, but not because of.
No, I've grown out of that. Like
Yeah, because that's a juvenile mindset.
exactly.
We're grown men.
Exactly.
Because of their colors, not because of their animals.
Right. No, I still appreciate, the Blue Jays and Orioles, but they're not like on my top favorite teams anymore. Simply because they have a bird logo. Like there are players that I do and do not like on those teams. But now I also understand, like, I'm from St. Louis. I like my St. Louis teams over these teams.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have more of the hometown passion rather than just, like, Bird. I like Bird. Good team.
The allergies are getting to me.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I want to let them know because I have to. I came over to Josh's apartment to get ready to film, and he's got 3 little kitties. One of them came up to me, I'm like, oh, he seems friendly. He walked up to me. Other 2 did not. I put my hand out there, and he's smelling me. He's looking at me like, this is the nicest cat I've ever seen. He then proceeds to lock jaws onto my arm. Like, he bites me, and his right paw holding my hand with his claws. So he's got like my hand in like, it felt like a gator. And like I was moving my hand
Wait, how do you know
around.
what a gator feels like? Like,
Dude.
biting you. Have
You
ever been
wouldn't
bit?
know.
That was the gator. That's the
No.
gator. So he
They do the death roll. He's like,
teeth sinking like a vampire, dude. I'm trying to move my hand, and
Like a
he's like
vampire.
holding me with his teeth in his paw. And I was like, ow! And Josh was like, oh yeah, he
Look at Tom and Jerry.
and Josh was like, yeah, he bites people. And I'm like, he didn't even ask if I was okay. Like,
No, I did. I offered you
And then-
bandages, and you said, no, I'm okay.
dude, and then it starts swelling up a little bit because I'm allergic. And then now my eyes are itchy.
Dude, Josh asked you like 8 times. You're like, hey, we can get it looked at, blah, blah, blah. Here's this, here's that. And Rob's like, I'm fine. And Rob's hand looks like, it's like a Mario glove. He's like, let's go clean it up.
So I forced him to have some rubbing alcohol put on it to bandage it up.
You didn't do this one. What if this one starts freaking out?
Did you alcohol it?
No.
Oh, come on. You know how to clean a
You were
wound.
the medic. You're supposed to heal me.
But you're supposed to know how to clean a wound. You're 21.
I'm an EMT. I can look at it. Give him oxygen.
Don't hit the
What were we talking
table.
about?
Dallas Stars. Yeah.
Why you like the Dallas Stars.
I just can't think
That's
because
on
like
me.
my eyes are burning.
Oh my.
Do you have,
okay.
do you have eye drops? Eye drops?
Yeah, I
Just
do.
go wash your face out in the sink.
Okay, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go wash my
No.
face.
I don't know anything.
No?
We're gonna have to cut if you're gonna leave.
He's
No,
He's
you
got
guys
like
talk.
2 bullet points.
You talk to him about the stars. It'll be 2 seconds.
Oh no. Okay, you know what? We got this. Rob, make it
Okay.
fast. Dude, trust me when I say that I've not watched a lick this season. Shoot, is there anything I have? I mean, you just want to like talk to me, just like educate me really
Well-
fast.
What's your extent of knowledge?
I know that the scores being 5-2, 5-0, 6-2. I know we went down
Sure.
to Dallas, but I know those scores like are pretty high scoring games because like usually for hockey it's like it's usually around like 3-2, right? For like
It depends.
maybe.
So
Because like when I see those numbers, for me, those numbers look ugly. Like that looks like a spanking with the belt.
Sure.
Like
Well,
that,
okay,
that
so
looks bad.
Belt to bum.
the Dallas Edmonton series so far has been 6-3 Dallas and then 3-0 Edmonton. So like a 3-0 is a pretty typical, like if you're gonna shut somebody out, normally it's gonna be like in that fashion. I would say that 5-0 isn't like a high scoring game. Obviously, one team got the majority of all of the goals, right?
Right.
But that's still like I would say 3-2 is a good like normally balanced good game.
Right.
6-2 is like that's where you start to get into blowout territory. 5-2 5-2 is like good. You have a 3-goal lead, but normally they say like a 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead to have in hockey because if you let them get one back, then you're like, okay, we need to clamp down. We need to like lock in. And then if they get that second one, now you're on your heels. And you're like, okay, we cannot let them tie this game. And then they tie it. All of a sudden, they have a chance to take the lead.
Right.
And like you don't want to let that happen. So normally they say like a 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead to have. So that could have absolutely gone in favor of Carolina if they would have just...
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's also sort of like it could have been Florida was playing so good and then at the end of the game they let them have 2 or whatever because they stopped playing with, I guess, passion. Or they stopped playing with a little bit more grit.
To make a parallel over to baseball, looking at those scores, what do you think that like those scores translated over to baseball like would be? Would it be like maybe like a score of like a 6-3 ball game or like
No,
just to kind of like
absolutely
paint
not,
a picture of what those scores would look like?
I think you could just get like a couple of slap hits in baseball, and all of a sudden the game's 3-0.
Yeah.
I think that would more be like a. This is more like a. I'd say 5-0 for hockey. It's more like 8-1 in baseball, something like that.
Ooh.
Like a big lead in baseball, because you can. I mean, shoot, you can score 10 runs, you can score as many runs in an inning, like as your offense produces, right? And it's not. There's so many factors that are more relevant in baseball than they are in hockey, right? So like in hockey, you have your skaters and your goalie. That's your factors. In baseball, it's what handedness is the batter, what handedness is the pitcher. Is the pitcher throwing 90 miles an hour or are they throwing 70 miles an hour? It all depends. So like,
interesting.
I would just say like 8-1 in baseball would be kind of similar to a 5-0. Or like a 1-0 baseball game.
But
that would be like a double overtime 1-0 hockey win.
Interesting.
Because you're just going that long without scoring in hockey. And it's even more so like, I don't know much about soccer, but it would be even more so like worse for soccer because obviously you can tie 0-0 in soccer.
Yeah, soccer is like, it's so boring.
You could also compare like the Panthers to like the Astros. I'm trying to think of who the Hurricane would be in the baseball.
No, I would actually compare like to Tampa. Bless you.
Who?
I'd say Tampa would be more like the Astros because they had, they had success in the exact same time period, and they've remained dominant post-success period, right? But now they're starting to get that downfall.
That's true. Even though, later on we're going to bring up how the Astros are back into reach for the division.
Yeah, they are. But
last year they had the exact same slow start.
That's true. What are the Mariners looking like?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Well, you can just tell me. We can move on now. I'm pretty much done with
MLB standings?
Yeah. I don't have anything else on hockey.
There's only 2 series going on, and one of them's like a blowout.
Yeah.
So, kind of stinks, but... All right, well, MLB standings...
Here's a question. Would you rather see a blowout series or a Game 7 series?
Game 7.
Okay, but like, what if your favorite team blows out the other team? If the Blues won 4-0 against against the Golden Knights.
There's no way you're gonna pick Game 7, right? Like if it's your team, you want them to blow their opponents, right? It's not even close. Because it also gives you confidence for the next series. The fact that you guys clapped these guys,
right? It
gives you confidence for the next one, and you don't have to get like this. Okay, it's Game 7. Like my night will either be
Game 7
or die.
You're an idiot.
No, I'm not.
Stupid.
Because the momentum is can really win you a series. If you sweep
Is there no
someone,
momentum in dominating?
if you sweep
No, there
someone
is,
and
but
you're
I mean-
off a few days and your opponent wins a game 7 and they move on,
Okay.
they have that push through. We just won a game 7 momentum that you might lose that series because you swept someone.
No, I get
let me put it in perspective for you, Greg. When we won the Stanley Cup in 2019, we had 6-game series, 7-game series, 6-game series, 7-game series. That is the most amount of games played to win a Stanley Cup that ever. We won obviously all of those series, but 6, 12 plus 14, so 28, 26 games is the most amount of games played in order to win a Stanley Cup. The Bruins, who we beat them
in game 7.
They swept Carolina in 4 games in the conference final.
What was their break? Was it a 3-4 day break before they played us? Is that what
Boston?
Was? Yeah. How long?
No, it must have been longer because there's
always there's a break in between games too.
Right. So
my gosh.
It's always alternating
6 or
days.
so days
And
maybe.
so let's say Boston finished first. I don't remember if they did or not. But if they played their game 4 a day before we played our game 4, then they at least had to wait 1 day for us to finish game 4, and then 2 more to finish game 5, 2 more to finish game 6, 2 more to finish game 7. So at least a week before we started the series. So
now I look like an idiot.
All of that time off.
So you would want your team to go, I guess, game
Yes.
7?
I think it's scary as a fan, but as a team, that momentum is so important. A lot of teams that win their division in baseball that have a bye, sometimes they lose in the first round because the wild card team has to play really, really good, and if they win, you have that momentum.
True, but the Yankees and Dodgers made it to the World Series last year.
Okay, sure, that's one thing, but also if you looked at the previous years, the number one statistically in sports, baseball has the least amount of the first seeds going to the championship.
Yeah, that's true.
Out of any other sport.
It's weird because last year we had both first seeds, I believe, and then the year before that we had 2 wild cards.
Yeah, you had the Rangers and Diamondbacks.
And isn't it crazy that the 2 first team seed series was the worst?
I did not enjoy that series. It could have been really good.
What was that? 5 games?
I think so. I think the
Dodgers
Yankees
won
won
They should have won. Yankees could
game
have
3 or 4,
won
something
game
like that.
1, but they
Dude,
blew it.
it's so stupid because I hate both. I hate both the Yankees and the Dodgers. I'm like, hey, if we're gonna have at least 2 juggernauts going after, it'll be at least entertaining. And it wasn't even fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, this just sucks on all cylinders. Even the Dodgers winning it all is just it's just the salt in the wound. It's just.
But
there's nothing
Edmund won.
entertaining.
Freddie Freeman won.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts won. Ohtani can suck my nuts.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Gotta flex the Edmund.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I got the Nato shirt on.
I got a Nato USA jersey. Okay, we're gonna go to MLB standings.
Yep.
Then we'll take a break and then probably do the tier list or the grid and then the
Immaculate
tier
Grid.
list. Okay. Sick. All right, so we're gonna start in the American League because they are a weaker league and no one cares about them. So in the American League East, you got the Yankees, 31-20. They are above the Red Sox at 27-27. I had them winning the East. They have a really good team, and yet they're not really performing the way they should. They have the Rays. The Rays are like the Brewers in the American League. They
Orioles are that low.
Yeah, we'll get there. The Rays are in 3rd place, 25-26. Blue Jays are in 4th place, also 25-26. And you have
That breaks my heart.
Orioles with the worst record in the American League at 17-34. They're bad at everything. They can't hit. They can't pitch.
Well,
they don't have any
injury ridden, aren't they?
That's not the issue. The issue is that they didn't get no one for in the offseason for pitching.
They got Charlie Morton.
In Gibson, who they let go of Gibson, and if we were to look up Morton, which I don't want to, he's probably a 14 ERA. It's disgusting. They got some Japanese guy. I should know his name, but he's been pretty decent for him. But yeah, I mean that's the only highlight.
Or is that?
I'm not sure.
No, Yuki Matsui.
No, he has a. What's his name? I don't know. I'm really bad with remembering Japanese.
I know exactly who you're talking about. He's 34, right?
Yeah, but he was their only good pickup, but they needed a lot more help than just a single pitcher.
The Orioles were so bad for so long, and they finally had something for a short period of time.
Yes. So in 2015 was the last time they made the playoffs, and then I can't hit the table. Josh gets mad. What is that? Okay, so they made it in 2015, and then ever since then they missed the postseason. They had They were just really sad.
That was like the height of Chris Davis, though.
Yes. It was really, really sad. They were basically farming prospects like it was no one's business. They finally get an exciting team in probably, 22? Yeah. They still weren't that great, but then in 23, you really saw them, like...
They made the splash.
Yeah, they're like, oh, crap, this team can be good. 24, they were really good. And then...
Well, when they made the trade for Corbin Burns, that was really what elevated them.
And then
Kyle Bradish broke out too the year before, but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, it's rough. A lot of them can't stay healthy. Anyway, we're going to move on because we could talk about the Orioles being terrible all day. Is this the best record in the American League? Yes, it is. So you got the Detroit Tigers with the best record in the American League at 34-20. You got the Twins at 29-22.
They've been on a heater.
Yes. The Guardians 29-23. Before I move on, with our 2-week break of not filming, they went on like a huge win streak. It was like 13 games or something. So they were hot. And then you got the Royals at 28-25. Those 4 teams are all above 500. All of them in a playoff spot.
Dude, that's the NL West of the...
Yes.
That's crazy because the AL Central, for the longest time, has been considered to be the worst division in baseball.
Mm-hmm. And now they're the best.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I thought that's how the AL East was going to look with Boston, Tampa, and...
The AL East has been such a disappointment. And then you have the White Sox, 17-35.
What's new?
Dude, they have the same record as the Orioles. That should not be right at all.
That's depressing.
If you look at last season, like they were both like night and day difference like teams, and now they're on like the exact same playing field in terms of like.
Dude, it's like standings. It's reverted like 4 years. Actually, not even because 4 years ago the White Sox were good.
Yeah, do you remember like
4 years
when they had Tim Anderson? Yeah, when Tim Anderson, Lucas Giolito,
Moncada,
who's the lefty?
Luis Rodon. Rodon, yeah.
Robert was good still.
They also was that when
Jimenez was hitting bombs.
Was Abreu still on that team? Jose Abreu?
Yeah, he was. That's when he won. He won the MVP in 21.
Was it 21?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Mariners.
And then you have the Mariners at 29-22, and then here comes the Astros, 27-25. They are 2.5 games back. I want Seattle to be good, but Seattle always just blows it every single year. It's kind of depressing. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are 25-26. The Rangers are 25-28, and then you have the Athletics, who are on like a 10-game lose streak.
That's
I think.
So sad.
0-10.
Yeah, that's their last 10, but it could it could be worse.
No,
I can't remember, but they're 22-31.
That's tragic.
I need to check in.
They lost a really hard game last night against the Phillies.
Dude, the last time we checked in on Tyler Soderstrom when we had him featured, he had 10 home runs. That was like
he's also hitting 300
ago. Oh. Wow. So he's still hitting for decent average. He just can't hit a home run anymore.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They have all gone cold.
What is that? Oh,
that's our grid. Yeah. All right, so Phillies, we're in the National League now. Phillies have made a huge comeback. They were pretty cold in the beginning of the season, but now they're first place in the National League East, 34-18. The Mets are 31-21. Braves are 1 game below 500 and 25-26. The Nationals, who Josh said could make the playoffs, are 24-28.
It's a long season.
The Marlins are 20-30.
Dude, they're only 4 games behind, or 4 games under 500. That's not bad.
Well,
we were once upon a time.
Josh, you have Phillies, Mets, Braves, Cubs, Dodgers, Giants, Padres, and Diamondbacks all looking for a playoff spot, and you're telling me the Nationals are going to be
long season.
Are going to squeeze out.
Yeah, my Reds friend says that as well.
Then you have the National League Central, known as the best division in baseball. You got the Chicago Cubbies at 31-21. The St. Louis Cardinals 2 games behind them at 29-23. Hopefully they can beat the Diamondbacks today. What's the score?
I think it was still 2-0.
Oh no, Arizona took the lead, 3-2.
Oh.
The Reds 26-27. Failure of a franchise.
Dog water.
They're only recognized because they were the oldest team in the league.
Because they have Ellie De La Cruz.
Yep. Well, he's not doing great.
It doesn't matter. They're still gonna.
Also,
every
Tyler
time he steals a
Stevenson,
base, every time he hits a home run, every time he
they're gonna milk
hits a single, they're gonna.
Tyler Stevenson has like the most Ks in baseball, so he needs to stop swinging that crap. That's our buddy's favorite player. He's like 3 jerseys from him. Tyler Stevenson.
That's a weird favorite player.
He's striking out left and right, and I bet he's a great guy, but to make fun
I
of
feel
my
like
friend is worth
that's
it.
like me saying that Colton Wong used to be my favorite player. Because they're not like big name players, but they're just like a guy on your team that produces well enough. I think
Didn't Colton Wong just retire?
He did.
He did, like a week ago. Tyler Stevenson is also he's not an everyday player either. Like,
That's true, but
he doesn't
Wong
play
wasn't
every single day.
Wong wasn't at first either.
When he was in his prime, he played every day. He was in the starting lineup.
And he was a very good
Tyler
hitter.
Stevenson is at the age to where he should be in his prime, and he doesn't play every day. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
but that doesn't take away the comparison. Like, I still think that's a valid comparison because
I think
Colton
so.
Wong during his prime was a decent hitter, a really good fielder.
I understand that, but he played every day. Like, he was in the starting lineup. Tyler Stevenson's not.
Tyler Stevenson used to be. So
I don't think
Colton
he ever
Wong.
was. He was
Yeah,
injury prone for a while. He just gets injured.
He was
all the
hurt,
time.
yeah, but when he was healthy, he played.
All right. I don't think so.
Trust.
And then
Trust.
you have Pittsburgh Pirates at 1934.
He thinks he's really clever.
Bro's never gonna say correctly.
I hate him. And then you have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Is this the?
Do you hate everybody in our league? I understand like they're all like rivals, but like you say like you hate the Pirates, you hate the Brewers, you hate the Reds, you hate the rank them on who you hate the most.
How much-
Brewers
how-
won.
He
how
likes
much I
the
hate
Cubs
him?
more than he does the Brewers.
I hate the Brewers the most, and then the Cubs, and then the Reds and the Pirates. No, the Pirates and then the Reds. I think I hate the Reds the least. I can't stand Pittsburgh because they did
There it is again.
because they destroyed Michaelis's no hitter.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
that
that's
still
so
makes me
stupid.
mad.
Yeah.
I hate the Brewers because they're good for no reason. Even though this season they're kind of doing all like
It's a long season.
it's a long season. I also can't stand Milwaukee Brewers fans as well.
See, I think with the Cubs, it's like a fun like rivalry. So I don't have like an authentic hatred for them. It's more so like I hate you because like I'm supposed to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're raised to like hate the Cubs, so
That's
like
valid.
and like you know that you're supposed to hate it because you're supposed to. But like you hate the Brewers because like they shouldn't be good on paper, but then they always excel.
It's
far
Them
more
in the
than they
Instagram
should.
comments make me so
Oh,
mad.
they're also, like,
and my
all- yeah.
favorite thing in the world is that the two best Brewers teams of all time lost to the Cardinals. In 1982, they lost the World Series to the Cardinals. In 2011, they lost to the Cardinals as well. The best two Brewers teams of all time lost to the Cardinals, and that's like my favorite thing in the world. That is why I get good sleep. That's why I get good sleep at night.
Can we go back to the
'Cause I hate 'em.
Milwaukee Brewers fans suck?
I hate them.
I think I told you about this, but I haven't told you. Whenever I was in Wisconsin for a manager thing, we wanted to get cheese curds, like authentic Wisconsin cheese curds. So we went to like
You're like these sucks. So I hate the Brewers.
I had a jersey on. I don't know if it was Goldschmidt or whoever the hell it was.
Oh no.
I had a Cardinals jersey on. Actually, it was Colton Wong. And
The Hawaiian one you have
Hawaiian.
isn't like a Hawaiian like.
No, it's just a normal. It's like
Really?
That's a cream jersey. It's just a normal
okay.
home white jersey. Anyway,
Just because like Wong.
No, I'll bring it up after his story.
okay, so I had just a home white Colton Wong jersey on. I go to this bar to pick up these cheese curds, and there's literally 5 people there. It's like 4 people at the bar, the worker, and myself. And I'm sitting there waiting at the front, like for my order, because I had a place to go. And it probably took them 20 minutes for them to bring out my cheese curds. They finally give me the order. It was like a big order, though. Finally give me the order, and as I'm about to leave, the people that were sitting at the bar are also leaving. And keep in mind, I'm in the heart of Wisconsin, right? And there was a Brewers game on. It was Brewers White Sox. And I think the Brewers lost the game. And
Naturally.
it was like right after the game ended, they were leaving, right? So I hold the door open for these Brewers fans. And they're like grown men too. And like one of them had his wife with him.
Oh.
And so they like walk through the door, and the final dude, he's obviously like drunk, and he looks at me and he's like, "I'm not holding the door for a Cardinals fan." And I was like, "Okay." I don't care if you're gonna hold the door for me or not. And then this is the same year that the Cardinals sucked it up and they traded Flaherty, they traded Jordan Hicks, they traded Hennessy Cabrera, like everyone. They shipped them all out, right? And it was directly after the trade deadline. So we had already traded everybody. And then he does hold the door for me because there were like 2 sets of doors. He does hold that door for me. So this guy holds the door for me, the second set of doors.
Yeah.
And I said thanks to him. And he was like, "Man, I shouldn't have done that." And I'm like, "Dude, what?" just because you're a Brewers fan? And he was like, "You know, the Cardinals are going to find a way to win this division." And I'm like, "You guys are in first right now. And we just literally traded all of our players." And he goes, "Nope, you guys are going to find a way to win." We finished dead last in that division that year. And they won the division. It was like a landslide win for the Brewers, too. I have no clue why that guy was so anal about it.
That's an interesting word.
Well, because
Have you not ever heard that?
because he's an older fellow. He's used to the Cardinals just dominating the division for like
Sure.
a long time. But the Cardinals had a Hawaiian Colton Wong giveaway jersey, and I know someone who has it. I thought it was you that had it.
No.
But I guess not.
I have a signed ball.
I have a photo.
Right
Not gonna lie,
there.
I feel like Fletcher
That's
would wear
sick.
something like that.
Yeah, it was
Probably.
yeah. I see that jersey a lot. But where were we? All right. So Dodgers number 1, 32-20. Giants 30-22. Only 2 games back. Pretty exciting. And then you have the Padres 28-22. And then you have the Diamondbacks 26-26. That's my team in the West, and they're sticking it.
Dang, dude.
On a skid.
Rockies 9-43.
43
Sell the
losses
team.
is insane. You know what sucks, though, is that Nolan Jones was good. Just completely fell off. Chris Bryant can't hit a baseball anymore.
Chris Bryant's still with them.
He's actually
He's
having,
I
like
think
back
he's their
surgery or
left fielder.
something. They have some like Brenton Doyle or whatever his name is.
Brent Doyle and Center.
Yeah, he's not bad. Their shortstop
Tovar.
Tovar's not bad. Like they have two
good players.
decent players, and now they just suck.
Well, Ryan McMahon also forgot how to hit a baseball.
Yeah, he used to. When Arenado left the Rockies and he was their third baseman, he was actually making some great plays too.
He
at the
was.
corner,
If you were to like actually have all of their hitters performing to their height, they would be a decent.
and you're in
ball club.
Colorado, dude. How are you not hitting
True.
bombs all the time?
That's what's crazy. Obviously, their pitchers are never going to be great because they're in Colorado. But
Yeah. So that's the divisions. That's about it. Do you want to do the grid now?
I would love to do the grid.
What is the grid? I'm.
Greg
Interested.
can maybe help.
Oh, am I? Is
I
this
think I
like
would
out of
do
my
a little bit.
wheelhouse?
No.
So what is the? Explain it to me.
Well,
Grid.
Pull it up.
I'll pull it up after this break. Hey there, listener. Don't forget that you can find us at the Outside Scoop Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram, we post some pretty interactive content, so if you enjoy that, give it a follow, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. All right, back to the show. Okay, so this is the Immaculate Grid. Obviously, it's a 3x3 grid. And we have 3 teams on the left, we have 2 teams on the top, and then 100 plus RBI season for a hitter. So what you have to do is you have to guess. So we have the Orioles and Yankees. We have to guess a player who has played for both of those teams, and we only get 9 guesses. So we have to get
Good grief.
all 9 of them correct, essentially.
So what do you want to tackle first?
I think Cubs Dodgers. I think will be the easiest at least.
I agree. Because
Like-
so obviously we're also trying to guess lesser known players.
Yeah, so
Because
yeah.
the more known players that we guess,
Ooh.
the higher the percentage, and you want to try to get a low percentage.
Okay.
So if I'm thinking like
So you don't do like
Okay,
Justin Turner.
okay, here's the thing.
exactly, yeah.
Justin
So-
Turner's too easy.
The Dodgers buy everybody, and the Cubs a while ago sold everybody. So I
So,
feel like
like,
there's like a decent amount of people.
Yu
that-
Darvish would be an example. I think that's maybe still too known at this point. Because he was a really good Dodger, and he was also a really good Cub. So I think that would be like a no-go.
I'm looking at the Orioles and Yankee right now, and the only one that's coming to my head is Gleyber Torres is not there.
No, he's on Detroit.
Yeah, he's on Detroit. Which Oriole went to the Yankees?
Oh, I'm thinking
Can you pull yourself together?
No, dude.
Be professional.
outfielder. Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks played for him, but also the other one who was a really good Yankee, but he sucked for the last 2 years of his career.
Matt Carpenter.
Not Matt Carpenter.
He was never in Baltimore, unfortunately.
Yankees, Astros. See, not Aaron Cole.
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole would be a no-go for the Yankees.
Garrett Cole's way too high.
Stros, because that's going to be probably the number one answer. I'm thinking of Brett Gardner.
Oh my goodness, dude! Yeah. Even though
Do you think that's too much of a big name?
he's a big Yankees guy, but I don't know if people know he played in Baltimore.
Right.
Put him down.
I think Aaron Hicks is a good one though. Aaron Hicks is pretty forgettable.
Okay, let's do Hicks then.
Okay.
I think Gardner is more.
I think I
known than
recognize the
Hicks.
other name more than Aaron Hicks.
You recognize Brett Gardner more?
He's like the bald guy who'd always destroy stuff.
So
in the-
3% on Aaron Hicks. That's pretty
Sick.
good.
He would also destroy stuff in the dugout when he get pissed.
He's in the
and-
Angels
yeah.
now, or what's with the?
No, I think he retired because it said until 2024.
Ooh.
He may have played there last year and then retired.
Yankee Dodger.
There's definitely some good pitchers in here. I didn't Did Rivera ever play for the Dodgers? Or was he just Yankee his entire career? Mariano Rivera?
He might have just been a Yankee.
Ooh. Who am I thinking of? Oh, outfielder Manny Ramirez? Did he play for the Yankees? Or was he just Boston, Cleveland, Dodgers?
I don't think he ever played in New York.
That might be too much of a big name. Oh, Blake Trinan. That's gonna.
I never knew he was a Yankee.
Whoa, hello.
He was someone that I want the Cardinals to pick up. He's such a good bullpen piece.
I think he was a Yankee. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Uh-oh.
Do it.
Oh no! Okay, so that's
Mike Tweaker did that.
Miss.
Was it a 9 before? Now it's at a 7.
Yeah,
No, 'cause we have 9
it said
guesses,
8
so
and then
we-
7 because I got that wrong.
Oh.
Okay, let's do the 100 RBI seasons because that might be the the easiest.
That might. Ooh, David Robertson right here, I think. He's played everywhere at this point. Miami. He definitely played for the Cubs, Philly, and I think he was a Dodger.
Who's the? It's not the Cub or.
So okay, so like Sammy Sosa would probably be not. Oh, it's not Cubs. Never
Yeah,
mind.
he's.
Uh,
Did Bellinger have 100 RBI?
I don't.
in
I don't
17?
think so. I don't think so.
You could probably go. Freeman's too easy.
Did Teoscar have it last year?
I don't know. How many home runs? He had like 30 home runs last year, right?
He did pretty good. Obviously, Ohtani would be.
I
too
wonder.
Ohtani. Show
And I wonder if you know what it means. Well, I can't think of like big Dodgers right now. Could you do like? Is there a big year that had like Chase Utley or something?
Ooh, I don't know about Chase Utley. That's like a.
Is that
That's a name that I'm
too much?
teetering. Like, he could have definitely, but I don't know. Like, and if he did, like maybe it was with the Phillies. Because he played for the Dodgers on the tail end of his career. So I'm thinking probably no on 100 RBIs for him.
Who's an Oriole? Who's
Frank? No, not Frank Thomas.
Brooke Robinson? What's his
Brooks
name?
Robinson?
Yeah, like the third baseman. That's a
You think
really.
he got 100?
That's like the only big name Oriole that maybe
What
got
about
100.
Chris Davis?
Ooh, maybe. We don't need the year. That's so nice. There's some games where like you need the year.
Right.
In 2015, Chris Davis probably did.
But is that too obvious? Probably. But also, I couldn't think of anyone else for the Orioles right now. Maybe Cal Ripken? Did he have 100? Or was he just a good...
He was just a
defender?
guy who just played like 3,000 consecutive games.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he ever got 100 RBI season. I think I want to do Robinson.
Brooks Robinson?
Yeah.
All right.
He's
I've already got-
he's an old guy.
Brooks Robinson. Played for 22 years? Ooh, look at that.
Let's
3%.
go!
Nice. Good pull.
Look at that old fart. Okay.
Did you smell something bad? It
Look at those teeth.
looks like Rob's teeth.
Jordan. Too easy. You know Jordan got traded from the Cubs to the Astros.
Did he?
I believe he was in the Cubs system. No. He wasn't. He never played.
He
for the
wouldn't
Cubs.
count
He
them,
never. He
right?
never played for the Cubs.
So I can't be in
He has to
the
play.
farm
You have to play a
system?
game for the
Okay.
Major League Club.
Where did Roger Hornsby play?
No clue. Good pull on a name, but I couldn't tell you.
Roger Hornsby.
Who's the left fielder that played for the Astros and for us?
The Astros and for us.
Yeah, like not too long ago. 10-ish years ago.
Ozuna.
No.
Who's
He never even played for the
Yeah,
Astros.
no. Well, he's from the Braves. He's Ozuna for the Braves.
Ozuna for the Braves. Oh, shoot.
who are the Astros like big
Maybe
players?
Jeff Bagwell was definitely 100 RBIs. Why can't I think of that guy's? Maybe his name started with an L?
You're thinking of Lidge from
No,
the
not
guy
Brad
that
Lidge, not
yeah
Brad
the
Lidge. He was
the
a
one
pitcher.
yeah the reliever
Yeah.
that Pujols
No, I'm
destroyed.
thinking of maybe he's a first baseman. Could have been first baseman / outfielder.
You think if we just did one, like the big core from like the 2017 Astros, like Springer or something?
Springer, Correa, Altuve.
Bregman.
That's way too obvious, though. Obviously, like... Okay, I'm thinking Jeff Bagwell is a good poll, then.
Okay.
I'm going to do Jeff Bagwell. I hope he has 100. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, 35%.
35?
That's unfortunate. Uh-oh. All right, Dodgers 100 RBI season. I'm really just thinking of those, like, recent guys, like Freddie, Mookie, Ohtani.
Teoscar he had a really big year last year, but I'm not sure if it was 100, though.
Yeah, it might have been in the 90s. Other than that, I can't really think of anyone before that. Maybe Bellinger.
I don't know why I'm struggling on thinking about like
I thought
Dodgers before 2017.
Right.
Am I tweaking that Bellinger did his...
Could
Actually, ignore me.
Max Muncy? No. Surely he didn't get 100.
Who's that one like Dodgers catcher?
Will Smith?
No, it's like Pudge.
No, Pudge Rodriguez was a Tiger. And a Guardian. Or an Indian.
He wasn't like a Dodger?
No, I don't think he was ever a Dodger.
I want to look that up.
You mean a Guardian?
I'm looking it up.
I said Guardian.
What's his first name?
Ivan.
I spell
He's
that.
cheating.
Ivan Rodriguez, yeah.
Pudge.
No, just put, Texas.
Oh, I guess he was, yeah. Shoot. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking about someone else then. It's got to be.
Yasmani Grandal. Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
Well, I just don't want to name drop somebody. You didn't even hear what I said.
No, I see that now.
That
This
one,
photo.
one.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're thinking of.
You better figure it out soon.
I'm gonna look him up. I won't use him because I'm looking him up.
I think Manny Ramirez would be a good one.
Dodger catchers.
Just shows you today's catchers. All time. Mike Piazza?
He was a Met.
Pizza?
Russell Martin? That's a crazy
Well,
name.
it's just all time, so maybe he just got traded.
Fine, frick you.
Oh, frick me.
Yeah. If it's all time, he had to at least have played one game in. Perhaps.
Whatever.
Perhaps.
Who's a... You could do Tucker.
Kyle Tucker?
No.
What?
For the
you mean
Cubs, Astros. But that's like...
That's too
maybe
recent.
Like 90%.
We could do the third baseman that got traded for him.
Oh, Morel? Or what's his name?
No, not Morel.
No, he went to the Rays.
Yes.
Chris
He went to the Rays for the third baseman.
Yes. Who we were talking about, the Cubs Astro? The Cub that went to the Astros?
Yes. He's on the Astros now. He played for the Cubs last year when they traded Christopher Morel. He was a Ray before that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
He's Hispanic. Right?
I don't know.
He ain't a white dude.
Dominican, maybe?
Oh my goodness, dude.
We're thinking too hard about him.
That's actually gonna hurt my brain.
Did Andy Pettitte play for the Dodgers?
Ooh.
No.
That's a Yankee Dodger. If it is. If he did play for him.
I think he did actually. Put him down. I'm like actually pretty confident about that.
You know who this is? Randy Johnson.
He played for the Yankees?
Yes.
I don't know that.
I'm doing it. Bang, 8%. And Andy Pettitte. Hello? Is that how you spell his name?
That's how you spell petite.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Do you think he was a Dodger?
Bum, bum, bum.
Moment of truth?
No!
Oh, you know what? This is
I
Yasiel
should have
Puig.
said something.
Oh, Puig is a good one. He plays in the Mexican
Did he
League.
play for the Cubs, though? He was a Red?
No.
No?
He did not.
He was a Red
He do be licking bats, though.
and Guardian. He does be, yeah.
Rod.
Dude, could this be Yasiel Puig?
Oh, actually.
100 miles? 100 RBIs?
No way, dude.
Yeah, bro. He was correct at the game.
In 2018.
He's correct at the game.
Our time was 2018 season.
Yeah.
He was an animal, but he was correct.
I'm also just thinking Manny Ramirez. I can't get off that name.
Do you want to put Manny? He never had it with the Dodgers, though.
Sure.
Wasn't his big years in Boston?
Boston and Cleveland, he did really good, but he was also good in
But do you think that the...
LA.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how fast did the Dodgers get rid of him so that he went to the Reds?
I don't think it was that quick. I think he was there for like 4 or 5 years.
What?
Like enough years to where he could.
How long was he in the league for?
A while, at least 12 years.
Ooh.
Because he was a staple of the Red Sox until he went pee in the middle of a game behind the Green Monster, and then he got traded to Cleveland, and he was a staple for Cleveland until he started fighting his teammates or whatever he did there.
That guy's just a problem to society.
So we should do him for the Dodgers, but I want to look him up first.
Okay, wait,
You
what?
can put
No,
him
that's
in.
cheating.
No, you can put it in.
Okay, I'm putting Manny Ramirez.
Come on.
Oh, it was wrong.
I
Dude, we're
freaking
so
told
bad at
you.
this right now.
He was only a Dodger for 2 years.
What?
Oh no, 3
Boom,
years.
baby. Okay, never mind.
3 years and where's RBIs?
Cleveland for so long?
Was he in Cleveland first?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was in
Yeah.
Cleveland first.
And then Boston?
His best years were Cleveland and Boston.
That's tough.
Did he end it on the... Where's the Reds?
Dodgers, his highest season, his RBIs, or let's see,
Did you
53,
catch that?
63.
Not
The
come
most
on.
RBIs he had as a Dodger?
Yeah,
63.
53, 63.
That's tough.
Yeah, 40.
Womp womp.
We got 2 guesses left.
Well, okay, we need to get this third baseman.
Wait, I thought you looked at Puig. I'm tweaking.
No, this is
I thought
Puig?
Puig.
Yasiel Puig.
Ah!
Oh, shoot. Who is this guy, man? I remember whenever the Cardinals were like talking about trading Arenado, everyone was like, "Oh, to the Astros for this guy." The guy that the Astros have at their base right now.
I'm gonna get really mad because I've heard his name a million times.
I know how he looks. I know that he's a right-handed bat. I just can't think of his stupid name. What about Orioles Cubs? Do we know anyone there?
I don't know.
Kyle
No,
Hendricks.
Roger Hornsby was a Yankee, right? I don't.
Dude,
Why is
I
that-
don't know.
That name
Maybe.
keep coming up in my head.
We don't need a Yankee though. I don't think we're
I
gonna
know.
get Yankees Dodgers. I'm really upset that Blake Trinan was not.
At what point do you just sacrifice the picking a big name for a high percentage and just...
Now, because we only have two guesses left.
I mean, you could like get nobody and get no percentage.
Sure.
So we
like,
could
I
do
think
Tucker.
we could just do
Justin
Yu
Turner.
Darvish. We could do Yu
Or
Darvish. for
Darvish.
this.
Yeah. Darvish is probably better than Tucker. No, Tucker
Than
doesn't play
Turner?
that much for... Or, Justin Turner doesn't play that much for the Cubs. He's like a... Yeah.
Yeah, but like current Cubs or current
Players
fans
are
of the
more
Cubs are
likely.
gonna know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Yu Darvish.
I guess
is
put Darvish.
further- like far enough in the past to maybe.
How's he doing this year?
I don't know. 3%. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
shoot. What?
That's actually okay. That
Well,
that
because
could
he
be
only
right.
played for the Cubs for like a year and a half.
Do you know Yu Darvish?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to
Rob's
get
like,
the bigger name.
this idiot knows who he is.
And you just want to do Tucker for the Cubs, Astros?
No, that's too high. I really want to get this third baseman. Unless we can get an
You could
Oriole
also.
Cub.
Oh, I was thinking just do, like, the
Oriole
100
Cub.
plus Dodger.
Yeah, we could put Freddie Freeman on 100 RBI.
What do you think would
Dodgers
give you lower percentage? The 100 plus RBI Dodger or the?
Do you want to try
Astros and
Teoscar
the Cubs?
Hernandez?
Kind of.
Because people are going to put
We're
like
already-
Ohtani and stuff.
We're already so wrong on 3 of them. So we could just put Teoscar if we're wrong again. Who
Sure.
cares?
F it.
Here we go. Nope.
Dang, we sucked.
452 rarity score is terrible. All right, so let's see. They'll show us what the most popular are. Shohei Ohtani, Cal Ripken
Jake
was 100
Arrieta.
RBIs. He was 100 RBIs. Jake Arrieta's a good pull.
Why did you say it like that?
Mike Messina, Steve Sachs. I don't even know who that is. Cody Bellinger for Cubs Dodgers. I forgot about that. Shohei.
That's the only name I was thinking about for the Cubs and Dodgers. I just thought that you guys weren't saying him because he would have been like
Was
too high
Cody?
on the. Yeah.
So Jeff Bagwell was the highest percentage for 100 RBI Astro. Kyle Tucker was the highest percentage for Cub. So Ohtani would have given us a better score than Kyle Tucker. And then Garrett Cole was the highest for that. 96% of people get the Dodgers 100 RBI season. The lowest get is Astros Cubs. That's wild.
Kyle Tucker. People aren't getting Kyle Tucker.
So we can also we can click on this and it'll show us who got 100 RBIs for the Dodgers.
Dude, oh my goodness. Isaac Paredes.
Isak Paredes. Yeah.
Isak, is that how you say it? Isak?
Yeah, it is Isak.
Okay, so
That sucks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I know
JD
that guy.
Martinez had 100 RBIs with the Dodgers in his 1 year there. Oh no, did he play there for 1 year? I think it was 1 year. Yeah, 1 season, and he had 103 RBIs.
Wait, who else?
it's a long list.
It is a very long list.
Matt
Trey
Kemp
Turner had 100.
Matt Kemp's a good pull.
What?
Trey Turner, I feel like is believable.
I suppose. Cody, Adrian Gonzalez, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier. That's wild. JD Drew. Jeff
Oh, I guess
Kent.
Mike Piazza was a Dodger.
Yeah, he sure was. Gary Sheffield. That one makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Height of the steroid era.
Sweet.
Don't even know who half of these guys are now. Tommy
But
Davis,
you nobodies,
Frank
yes,
Howard.
We need to do that later on so we
Fucking
can
nobodies.
do redemption.
We need to do what?
Do that again at some point for redemption.
Okay.
Because I blanked.
I'm gonna
on
see if
so
I know
many good
anything
players.
Round 2.
We could just do
Let's
it.
go.
We could do one from yesterday. What's on hockey today? Oh boy. This one's wild. Oh, you know what? Gustav Nyquist.
I guess we're gonna watch Josh.
Nobody
do this.
knows Gustav Nyquist.
All right, Josh, you're going to speedrun this. You
Okay.
have 2 minutes to fill these
Aw,
brackets.
2
but you can.
minutes.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't make the
okay,
rules.
Okay. This is Oh, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Nope, I forgot his name already. I'm gonna.
All right, Josh. You already had 20 minutes, and we already have a 30 minute.
You need 20
clip.
seconds? Huh?
No, for the tape.
Oh
The
yeah. I know,
recording,
I know.
idiot.
All right.
Good job with the hut.
Well, this is not the one that I had up.
Ryan Miller.
Let's go.
30%.
Oh.
Um,
All sports.
Chad Johnson? Chand. I think maybe Chad Johnson was of Florida. Maybe not. I'm not too confident in that one. What are you doing?
None, yeah.
Why is Wii Sports on your screen?
Because you looked up all sports and that is included in all sports.
Greg, surely you know a Nashville Predator and a Buffalo Sabre.
I know some predators.
Or you know
of course I
a
know.
Vancouver Canuck and a Columbus Blue Jacket.
Is that track and field? Track and field's not a sport.
Shh, we'll get there.
I'm sorry.
Bro, what is this, a sports tier list?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that while I try to figure this
Oh
out.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So our first sport.
You had a 2-minute limit. I'm
So-
sure you've already passed that. You're done. I've never done this sport. This is trash. Okay, I like that. Make it more vulgar. This is butt booty badookie.
But
Do you know how to spell badookie?
But
how do I say it? Butt
KY?
booty badootie. Or badookie. Did I say
Dookie.
dookie? I don't
You said
remember. I
dookie.
just say it. I never think about
Butt booty badookie.
That's
it.
right.
Okay. Butt booty badookie. That's right. Okay. Anyway, the first sport's
I
basketball.
started using that at work.
So
Basketball?
how we rank this is one, the sport, like the play, like when you're playing at
popularity.
popularity,
Okay, how you're
like when you
playing.
play, like how much
So
you
just like
enjoy it.
everything that
Everything. We got basketball first.
I would say that's a great sport because I really like playing it, but I don't like watching it. But it is a very popular sport.
I will say I despise basketball, but it is extremely popular, and I can't.
It's
really
more
look.
popular than the NHL, so I would have to give it.
It's like
great.
one of the most popular, but like I don't like.
I don't care for
at all.
basketball, but I'll put it in great just because I know it's popular.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all right to play, but I'd rather play baseball. I'd rather do floor hockey. I'd rather do chess. than
Sure,
play-
but I would say that the big four in
Yeah,
North
yeah.
America are hockey, baseball, basketball,
Football.
and football.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We got tennis.
You think soccer's not cracking the?
Not in the
not in the
America.
U.S.
Really, I
It's
feel like
more
there's
Europe,
so many people in
more
like
Europe
high
and South
school.
America, and
I know, but like, even when you go to like high school, you have a lot of people on like. You have more people on like the soccer team rather than like the hockey team. And I know it's like an expensive sport with like hockey, and there's like you gotta be tough and all this stuff. It's like hard to do and whatnot. But like I feel like there's just more people doing soccer, like even just like here, like where we live. You know
maybe,
what I
but the professional aspect of it is.
You
what
know,
I'm
you know what's
thinking
crazy?
Uh,
of. Even collegiate aspect.
There's not a
Like,
soccer
there's just
ball.
not.
Yeah.
There's not
There's
a
not a
soccer
very
ball.
There's no
big-
soccer ball, dude. That's kind of crazy. And I hate soccer. I think it's the most boring sport known to man.
Yeah.
Probably more than the golf, but like
All right, we'll do the next one.
okay.
Tennis.
Good. It's a pretty popular sport. Like
I have no
nationally.
feelings.
Around the
I have-
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like fun enough to play.
It's all right.
Volleyball, great.
I will say throwing a tennis ball is so fun.
It is.
Okay, wall ball doesn't count.
Sure.
Volleyball's
Okay, yeah,
sick.
volleyball I would say great.
Volleyball.
great.
Dude,
Yeah.
a casual can
College-
just like go and like play like sand volleyball. Like you can just
Yeah.
like start playing volleyball. Like it's fun just to, like play like casual.
It's a good community sport. Plus, college has really big competitive like volleyball leagues, and they have intramural leagues. They have so many like things that surround volleyball in college that just work. Maybe there's not like a big professional scene for it, but I would say it's great. It's a really good...
I would put it in good, but that's okay. We can put it in great. Behind basketball, we got hockey.
I would personally put hockey in amazing. It's my favorite sport, but I think based on popularity, it has to be great because it's less than NBA.
But we're also making the tier list sticky.
Hockey's an amazing. I feel like
I've only
hockey's
ever been
good
to one
because
hockey
like
game my entire
Really?
life. It was in 2019. I had a blast. It was like a lot of fun. But I just never found myself going back.
even though hockey's not as popular as basketball, if you took someone who has no idea what
They're gonna have a
sports
good
is,
time.
they would have
Yeah.
more
They
fun
would
in a
have more of
hockey
an
game
electric-
than a basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball is kind of boring to watch. I'm gonna be honest.
Even like baseball, like I adore baseball with all my heart, but like I feel like if you take like a casual to baseball, they're gonna be a lot. They're gonna be bored quicker than they would be with a.
They're probably going to be saying, "Where's the beer?" If you go to a baseball game.
I do.
All right, we got golf. I think this is amazing or great.
I would say.
Whoa!
Listen.
Okay, no.
I'm going to say good.
I was gonna say good as well.
Golf has one of the biggest international scenes, especially like between Europe and North America. Golf is huge, but it's so
like-
much harder to access than a lot of these sports because it's expensive to get clubs.
Yep,
it's
it's
expensive to get
gatekeep.
into play. Like
The balls are
it's
expensive.
Gatekeep. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out!
It's being gate kept from the community.
Yeah,
essentially because it's very expensive to get into.
I will also say
The access, because you need a gigantic field to do it. Unless you're doing
Right.
like mini golf, like soccer, there's not so popular. You need 2 trash cans and a ball, and you got a goal,
Right.
and you can play by yourself. But golf is just like
You need-
it's expensive. it's all this stuff. You need a gigantic field. It's just way too much.
Plus, you need to buy balls all the time because if you're not good, you're gonna lose your ball.
the community is also terrible. It's a bunch of rich.
It's a lot of old rich people that like if you're playing too slow, they're gonna
They yell
hit
at you, and it's so. You know what?
Also, it's also boring to watch. It's also
but
boring to watch.
But it's fun. It also takes a while. It's high reward, high risk.
It's a nice
Yeah.
retirement sport.
Sure.
You can't swing a bat like you used to. But you can't swing a golf
But
club.
we're in
right.
our prime, baby. We're not retired.
Baseball.
Baseball is amazing.
Yeah.
I would say it's still popular enough to put in amazing. It's still really fun to play, especially if you're like into the mind game of like pitcher versus batter. It's for me, it's really fun to watch. Still.
I think also with like people who like casually go to baseball games, I think even though I just said it's a little bit like more slow and a little bit people find it boring, I think there's also kind of like a charm to it whenever you go and you can like relax. Like it's 9 innings of like you don't have to be like completely glued to it. You can turn to your buddy and just like talk for a little bit, scroll on your phone for a little bit. You're enjoying like this like atmosphere of the stadium, the smell of the food. If you have a really good backdrop, I think that's what they call like a ballpark, right? It's like a park like you're just casually like enjoying like life in a sense. So I think baseball does have like
and
that.
it's still accessible too.
Yeah,
it's not like baseball tickets are astronomical price unless you want to sit like green seats like right behind home plate.
But when you also pay for green seats, like you also have like unlimited food. Like there's like this nice.
It's all inclusive.
It's a very like
so you can
deluxe.
go like luxury, or
You
you
can
do,
go
casual.
like a deluxe like. If you can wipe your butt with money, then that's a great experience for you. Or you can like sit really
I've
high up
blown my
behind home.
nose with the Bills.
Let me go back to golf really quick.
Sure.
If you want to watch the PGA Tour, not only are tickets like hundreds of dollars, but then you also have to stand there the entire day, either at a green or you have to follow someone with the gallery. You have to constantly be on your feet as a golf fan if you're going to watch.
So instead of having soccer on here, they have rugby.
I don't know diddly squat about rugby.
I wouldn't say it's bad because I think it might be fun to play, but I would say awful.
Just based on like ignorance,
Not great popularity
cool.
outside of Australia.
Yeah. What is that?
I'm
Gymnastics?
cool with putting it like low good.
But what can you say positively about?
It looks fun.
Have you ever played rugby?
No, you know what? Screw rugby.
That's the only thing I know about rugby and that Victor plays.
Well, Victor can.
Gymnastics. Can we throw soccer quickly up there, even though I have like a picture? Just
Yeah,
for, like,
soccer. Probably.
I'm gonna say good personally. I know that
I might
like
put
if you go to
great.
like
I would put on the highest part of great.
I would what? I would put it on the lowest part of great. Like
No.
high good, low great. Teetering.
I like to kick around a ball every now and then. Soccer is actually not fun to watch.
It's okay.
Have
you ever been to a
the
city game,
stadiums? I was gonna say, I hear it's really
Yeah,
great,
too bad it's like
atmosphere.
$100 for bad seats.
True. It's expensive to get there, but
Team also blows.
the team was good the first season. And when they were,
In a
if you
blown
went,
sense.
it was a really electric
yeah.
atmosphere. I went and the temperature was like 15. Like it was very cold. It was below freezing. All of us were like bundled up, but we were like standing the whole time, but it didn't matter. Like it was still fun. And I even said before we went in there, I was like 4-2 final score. We won 4-0. And like that's a high scoring game.
I was gonna say soccer's even like less than
It's
hockey,
like
right?
1 to
In terms of
2.
score it, it's like it's ridiculous.
We won 1-0, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
How long are soccer?
We
games?
tied.
How long? Dude, being able to tie in a sport should be illegal for
I agree.
any sport.
I agree.
That's crazy.
90 minutes
zero,
of
zero.
people just running back
0-0
and
is
forth.
crazy.
And then
Yeah.
you just
Shrimp, what? Have you ever played rugby?
Okay, where were we on
Casual.
sporties?
Gymnastics apparently.
Dude.
This is butt booty badookie.
This is amazing.
I would say butt booty
uniforms are great.
badookie.
No one
The
gives
only-
a fluff.
The only like scene that you have for gymnastics is the Olympics, which is pretty big. It's pretty big. Everybody likes the Olympics. But I'm not watching the Olympics for gymnastics. I'm watching it for whenever they have hockey and whenever they have
Water polo.
baseball when they used to have that.
For our feminist audience, I'd like to
I would say
bump that
track.
up a little bit. Track.
What feminist audience?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse?
I've-
Awful.
Oh snap! Seriously?
Yeah.
Why? Explain yourself.
Outside of high school and college, I don't think it's a very big like
It's just
scene.
That's true, but
And it's
Australian
also only
hockey.
it's also only in America.
the best country in the
I also
world.
think that everyone who plays lacrosse are a bunch of douchebags.
Yeah, it's also very it's
Didn't Owen play?
That point still stands.
it's also pretty limited on how to get into it. Plus, once you do get into it, it's like you have to play on the same. You have to play on the same field as soccer and football, which are already sharing that. Also with like marching band and stuff. It's like just
Is
hard
marching
to
band a
get.
sport?
No. It's. I think
Get 'em.
if you say that horse racing is a sport, then
Yeah.
you can say marching band is a sport.
Is horse racing not a? Wait, that's not the one where you're like on the
Yeah, no, the one where you're just riding, you're the jockey.
copyright. What do you say?
Chicken jockey.
Where you're just the jockey, right? You're riding the horse. If you can
Because an
say
uneducated idiot.
if you can say riding a horse is a sport, then you can say
Yeah.
marching band is a sport.
Dude, riding a horse might be. Don't you have to like?
That makes your groin, your thighs sore.
Okay, so what? Marching band makes your legs sore.
But it's not
Your
groin.
arms too.
But-
your arms too.
But what about marching bands that like compete with other like marching bands? Like,
Sure, there's competitiveness, but there's also professional marching band. But I'm not like if you're going to tell me that horse racing is a sport, then I'm going to say marching band is a sport. If
if
you're
you
going to tell me that
horse
it's not,
racing,
then it's not.
why would
Do you
horse
think
racing not
chess
be
is a sport?
No.
No, chess isn't a sport either.
Okay,
What
what's,
classifies as a sport?
what's the definition of the sport? Is
It's
it
physical exertion.
okay?
so if you can tell
marching
me-
band, you are.
You can tell me that you're not physically exerting
No,
yourself.
I'm just picking your brain. But I have no
Yeah.
stance on whether or not marching band is.
Sure.
I'm just kind of like
So, because of the definition that I gave you,
I apologize. That was-
would
I
what?
hope that picked
Painting?
it up. No.
What did
were-
you say?
Don't make him repeat it.
Okay,
I don't want to hear that again.
if you can tell me that you're not physically exerting yourself
Yep.
during marching band, then it's not a sport.
So your only argument would be if I came up to you, you'd be like, "Hey, bro, I'm quite tired. I'm quite tired." You'd be like, "Okay, it's a sport."
Sure. And I would be tired after marching band sometimes, but also sometimes I wouldn't be.
So it's a sport
'Cause I was pretty
sometimes.
conditioned.
And
Yeah,
other
but
So
times it's
no,
not a
I'm saying
sport.
that's why I'm saying it could be, it could not be. It depends on what you're telling me. If you can tell me that horse racing is a sport, if you can justify that horse racing is a sport,
Just
then marching
I
band
think
is a
horse
sport.
racing might be more of a
People
sport.
say
than
that like when
marching
you
band.
compete. If you're competing for something, then it's like a sport.
If it takes
Okay.
physical, okay, if you're training,
Then is chess a sport?
Yes.
Okay,
I
then
think
marching
some
band
people.
is a sport.
I think some people say chess is a sport.
some people, but they're idiots.
It's.
And
I would
I
say.
bet
I would
they're
say
probably-
esports is called esports for a reason. It's not a sport. It is an electronic competition. But you are not physically exerting yourself when you're just pressing buttons. If you're sweaty after playing games, you have a really big problem that is not
I sweat, but it's not because I'm trying really hard. It's because I'm just hot.
because the fan's not on.
No.
I would say that you have your own issue if you're sweating while playing a video game.
Ping pong. Ping pong.
Is that on here?
Yeah.
Oh, ping pong's good.
So our Chinese audience
is-
is non-existent, so you don't have to.
No, I would say it's good. I like
it's
playing
awful.
it. I
just
like
suck at
playing
ping
ping pong.
Ping pong is fun, but do you? Okay,
It's
You
fun for
can't-
wait,
hold
wait.
on.
It's fun for 20 minutes.
You can't say, stop hitting my hand. I have heat rash.
What? From
Double
what?
look.
Dude, you have leprosy.
Bro's
from
Kurt
work.
Connors.
Okay, listen. Because you said you're not good at it, you're gonna rank it.
I'm just joking.
okay.
But you play for like 30 minutes and you're like, I'm done.
Here's the
on
thing with
something
ping pong.
else.
Sure, but I can do that with
how long
everything
do you
else.
how long do you play ping pong before you start just like bouncing on your paddle? it's like 5 minutes of trying. Like like that's it.
Sure, but it's still fun while it's fun.
It is fun.
I would say it's good for that. It's like a baseline sport.
When it was like COVID and like we just came back from school, me and a friend, they had so we didn't go outside for whatever reason. Like they just kept us in the gym and either
You
made
didn't
us
touch
like
grass.
walk around. No, we either just walk around in a circle and then after or like we play like ping pong. And me and my friend would play ping pong for probably like an hour every single day.
Dude, yeah, I would do
And
that.
we sucked. We never got anywhere.
Me and my
Yeah, it's
guys
fun.
played, it's not called birdie, badminton.
Badminton?
That was
the
actually,
shuttlecock?
that was fun.
What is that?
Skiing?
Why is that? They don't have
Uh,
a soccer ball in here, but they have that. Awful.
Awful.
Just because.
So I think rugby should be last. It should be skiing, lacrosse. Or maybe
I would also put lacrosse over
lacrosse, skiing, rugby.
because skiing is just hockey, but like not as interesting.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
I'm not
What
gonna
even
lie.
is-
When I watch lacrosse, they look like little sissies when they like hit you. They go, you know what I mean? Like hockey, when you're like hitting people, like you straight up just like boom, get off your feet, son. Like
Sure.
lacrosse, when I'm watching, they go.
What's your
They hold their stick and they're like, it just looks like so like sissy to me. I'm like, this is
you
stupid.
watched lacrosse probably like high school, and they're all like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 5, 6,
And I remember
like,
being, I remember
80
being like,
pounds.
this is
They're like
lame.
nowhere near professionals.
Ugh.
You're comparing a sport that you've only seen at the high school level to a sport that you routinely watch at the professional level.
I bet if I watched a high school hockey game, there was better hits than just like a.
Yeah, there definitely is, but
I think it's lame.
I'm also not trying to argue that it should be higher than awful.
Okay, can we please dog on track and field really fast? This is butt booty badookie.
I would say it's better than gymnastics, though.
Yeah, put it above. Well, I mean, gymnastics is not.
I run in a
sport.
circle.
I think more people watch the Olympics for like the 200 meter dash than they do
But,
for gymnastics.
It is so boring. It is so boring. Not only because me and her were in track and field, it sucks to participate in, and also like imagine if like your parent, if you're like a parent, and you just have to like watch like your kid like run.
So
It's
right,
the
if
you're
most
only in, like, 2 events,
uninteresting-
You're there for
Oh
3
my-
hours in
Sure.
the blazing sun, and there comes my kid, runs a 400, and then okay, I have to wait another hour.
Right.
Like bro,
For not
what?
your kid.
Every event takes so long to set up too. And I'm like,
Dude, track and field sucks.
you know my favorite things are like, my sport is your sport's punishment.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
because your sport's terrible, dude. It is hell.
Dude,
Not fun. Not exciting.
Imagine not even love like doing like your own like sport. Like if you're playing baseball, you probably like love the game.
Yeah.
You're like the game's awesome. But like people who like do like either cross country or track and field, like they're miserable. Like they're like, I have to run. I'm like, you chose this sport. Like you were doing this willingly. You're like, like I don't understand, bro.
I gotta run
their own
6
people.
miles now.
Dude,
to
the people in high school that did cross country, they would run routinely from like our school all the way up the road like that led to our school to like what?
You're sweating so bad. Show the camera.
No, don't show the camera. No, but they would run like right after school ended, right? And they would just like run up the road. And so every time I left school, I would just see the track and field people like just freaking dogging their way up the road. I felt so bad for them, but also they chose it. So
Dude, and also they're the band kids of sports. They're so odd. They're odd human
Yeah.
beings. They are strange.
I would say, okay, specifically, I think I would say they're the trumpet players of sports.
Yeah.
But like, are trumpet players like loud and obnoxious?
Yes.
Oh yeah, trumpet players are the
that was
absolute
me.
worst people.
I was
in
the
band.
trumpet player. Also, with like
You still kind of act like a
track
trumpet
and
player.
field is like, I don't know. It's like, it's so uninteresting. I don't understand. Like, when we were in track and field in high school, most of the sprinters were like football players or something, just trying to like keep in shape during
Sure.
the off season.
Ours was a lot of soccer players.
If you're
Even worse.
if you're just doing track and field or cross country as a sport, you're not good enough to do any other sport. That's just plain and simple.
I don't.
They
you
can't play
just
baseball. They
did-
can't do any other sport except for track and field.
I don't know about
That's a-
that.
that's a
Because like if
bold
you're a
statement.
long
I think
jumper,
so.
if you're a long or high jumper, I think you could probably play basketball.
So I don't agree with what you just said, but I think you're lame if you don't attempt to do another sport. Like if you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave from track. I'm like, okay, you have the ability to, but you're choosing the lamer option.
It's just
Right.
people that didn't make the basketball team.
If you are
that's-
if you're a
Greg knows.
if you're
That's
if you're a
crazy.
sprinter, you could try playing baseball because obviously speed works. In
Well,
the
it takes
outfield
place at the
or-
same time. So that's why it's football players, because baseball is the same time as track and field.
Off season.
And if you're not a loser, you're playing baseball. I was a loser, so I
Okay,
did track
sure.
and field. I'm dogging on myself here. But yeah.
Okay, that's valid. That's our tier list, though.
Why'd you Okay, so
Okay, really
let's go
quickly
over
though,
it.
football's
Okay.
not on here either.
Wow, dude.
Whoa.
Okay,
How
football.
did we not
I'm
notice
down.
that?
I'm down with amazing for football.
I never watch football, but when I do, I really enjoy it.
I like watching football. I like to play football, and it's popular.
Okay,
And the Broncos will be good next year.
I will put it on amazing, but
Are?
only because
dude.
sneeze all over your brother.
You just interrupted him, dude.
Shut up!
That's so close. It's not get on camera.
It's not me.
It's so funny. Just
No.
come into the big B concussion. Speaking of concussion, football. All right.
Yeah, no, I would say it's only amazing for me because I really like playing it.
Oh, it's a lot fun to
I-
play too.
I think when you watch it, it's more of a Hollywood production than it is an actual game.
Like
When
for
you're watching
NFL?
the NFL, yeah. But if you're watching
Are you
like high
saying scripted?
school,
Are you saying it's scripted?
no, I'm not saying it's scripted because I don't believe that. But if I'm watching a high school or college game, it's fun. There's
Oh, for
a
sure.
good like atmosphere, especially if you're there. There's a lot more mistakes also at that level, I think, that can make it more interesting. But
Yeah.
so also that's why like a pick six in high school is the biggest thing ever because it rarely ever happens. But if I'm watching the NFL, it's all just like the graphics are overblown. The announcers are normally just like they're glazing both teams so hard.
Looks a little
And-
homey.
I just don't care for the NFL broadcasts anymore. Like
So like I almost never watch football. So like I think all your problems is like you've watched it for so long because and so now you can like pick up these things. Like I watched for so long that I'm starting to pick one of these things that I don't like, whether it be like how they're commentating, whatever it may be. I almost like never watch. So whenever I turn it on, if like Rob's watching like a playoff game, I just kind of enjoy like whatever I'm watching. I don't have like the time to actually like I don't know. There's nothing that I think like instantly turns me off from watching the game when I first started
Okay.
watching it. You know.
I'd say another thing that takes me out of it, like more so now than it used to, is that teams are so one dimensional and like I know that you can like run different offense and different defense and stuff, but teams are so one dimensional in the fact that like you have to have a good quarterback and you have to have at least one or two good defensive players and you have to have a playmaker on offense to win.
Are you
Like
saying just have a good team? Because like
no,
I feel like you're naming
no,
like a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying,
positions.
well, pretty much.
The
Like, what I'm
baseball,
saying
you
is-
need a good pitcher and then a good staff that can
No,
hit
okay,
the ball.
listen. So what I'm saying is there's no parity in football. If you have the good people where you need them to be, then you're going to win games. And if you look at like baseball, the Colorado Rockies right now, like they're terrible, right? But every
Correct.
now and then they're going to pull out a win. But if you look at like the Browns a couple years ago when they were just tanking, 0-16, 0-16, 1-15. Like there's no parity to where like if you want your team to win, but like they have a bad roster in baseball, they can win.
Is that just because like you have fewer games for football? Like going 0-16 is gonna be a lot easier if you only play 16 games opposed to like
Sure.
the Rockies. They're gonna play what 100? How many games?
162.
162.
Well,
like
I think the reason that's the case is because baseball, like the what was I about to say?
There's also a lot
That
more.
process is gone.
Like I told you earlier, between hockey and baseball, there's a lot more factors in baseball
That's true.
than there are in football as well.
If your ace has a bad day, you lose the game.
Exactly.
So it's like if your quarterback has a bad game, you can still, probably win the game.
Because if your defense is just
Interesting.
better than their offense, then
Or
you
even
win.
like if you have a good running game that
yeah,
day.
yeah.
But like baseball, if your ace just like doesn't have his breaking pitch that day, hanging curveball, and then he's getting smacked around. Like
yeah, 6 runs, boom, just like that. But if your quarterback has a bad day, like you said, your running back could just take over. You just hand him the ball. So I think there's just less parity in football for me to make it still as interesting as it used to be. But I do like the college and high school football level because there's pretty much every team is just bad. So like there's a lot more parity in those leagues than there are in the NFL.
So are we putting underneath amazing? Is what
I'll put it at amazing just because it still has that huge popularity, especially nationally.
And it's still fun to play.
Yeah.
It's still fun to play. Yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
All right, is that all?
I think that's all that we have for, yeah.
Okay.
And this
All
also is concluding our final sports episode of the season.
Yes, hard.
Whoa.
Yes, hard.
You guys have done it forever. How many seasons are you...
Until we die, or
No, I
you
mean,
become
like,
too busy.
What determines, like, in the end of the season?
Whenever
We just set our stop at 10 episodes for this season, just to kind of
He also said he wanted 750 subscribers. We are maybe at like 10.
Yeah, hey, let me...
No, we're at
can
more
I
than
record
10.
this really fast on video? That's the most unrealistic goal I think I've ever had.
That's what I said. I'm like, Josh, we gotta like make a goal that
Do you know
we
what I
can-
said at the very beginning?
1,000.
I said 1,000.
And I said no.
Bro.
No, but I'm just thinking, based on how things can blow up on TikTok and on Instagram, if the algorithm was on our side, then it definitely could have reached that point.
Yeah.
But isn't it still like gambling? Like
Sure,
a goal I
absolutely.
think is like maintaining like based on like steps that you can take, but like that's more so like luck based, I feel like. If it just like blows up willy nilly. Or if Rob says something racist, now one's like, whoa.
Woo, dude.
Rob, sit. No,
Like, comment, subscribe,
Share.
and then join us for Thursday, which our pop culture episode will be.
our
So,
final
and that's-
episode of the
yeah.
season.
All right.
Before we go really quick, though, we are going to be taking like a little bit of a break in between seasons. Just for
Mental health.
No, not for mental health. I think we're both fine mentally.
I'm not.
Just to kind of evaluate what we can do differently, how we're going to go about our next season, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we do actually want to do some different things.
Yeah, so it might look a little bit different next season. Specifically, sports is going to be maybe shorter, a lot more challenge based. So look forward for that. That's
Less numbers getting thrown at
less
the screen.
numbers, yes.
So
Less reading
there's
off stats.
podcasts for that stuff if you want it.
Right.
Like I listen to some stats that are just like straight up just stats, and I enjoy it. But not
Right.
everyone's gonna enjoy because hitting 390 with a on base percentage of 4. Like you know, like
Yeah.
I like that stuff, but whatever.
You can also just look up those numbers.
Yeah, stop being lazy.
If you cared, you would do it yourself.
Anyway, that's all we have for sports today. So thanks for joining us. See you later.